How are we doing? All right. Don't get too excited. A wise woman, Pearl Buck, once said, "Life without idealism is empty indeed. We either hope or we just starve." Now, if you know me up here, it's probably because you know me as a pretty optimistic person. I smile a lot. I have high hopes for the future. I try to be nice to everyone, and I look on the bright side of life. But over the last few months, I've lost a lot of that idealism, lost a lot of that hope. I've become more cynical, more rash, more rough. I guess I know why. It's because I have pressure to get good grades, to get into a good college, to leave my friends and family behind. I'll have to deal with that. College senioritis, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one in this room who feels that way. Feels that over the last few years we've lost a lot of hope. We've just become a little colder. If we had to choose between hope and hunger, I'm certain that we've been having less and less to eat, in the metaphorical way. We've been going to bed hungry, worrying about yesterday, being afraid of tomorrow. We've been hungry around our friends and family, the people we need to feel most comfortable around. We have been feeding fear, doubt, and anxiety instead of feeding ourselves. We either hope or we starve. And I'm tired of living a hungry life. This world is a harsh reality. We're going to be leaping into it, out of our comfort zone, whether it's into college, into the workforce, into the service. It's going to be terrifying, and we're going to be scared of it. Why wouldn't we be? We've grown up with images of violence and horror on the news. And that's where we're going. Reminds me a lot of Pandora's box. Now, according to Greek mythology, all the evils of the world, war, famine, pestilence, was all stored up in a box. And eventually, when the box is opened, that's where everything turned bad. The world became a more horrible place because of it. But at the bottom of the box, there was hope. Life can be that way sometimes. Turn on the news, and you get a mirage of horror, bad stuff, corruption, greed, plain evil. In fact, look at the newspaper, and you aren't far from violence, drugs, bad stuff. In fact, most of you, or at least some of you, don't need me on this podium telling you how bad it is out there. You've lived it. You've suffered it. This world is terrifying. But it doesn't change the fact that if you look closely, hold on just a little longer, you'll find hope. And I don't care how small or insignificant hope might look compared to bombings and killings and plain evil. But I believe hope can make a difference in the world. It makes all the difference. We either hope or we starve. And the world that is waiting for us, there is misery, suffering, and pain. And as such, we are met with two options. We can either be a part of that misery, cause misery to others, be miserable, or we can choose a life to combat misery, to make the world a better place for all people. Because yeah, there's bad people out there, there's murderers, terrorists, and a lot more. There's also good people. There's firefighters, teachers, police officers, doctors, lawyers, volunteers, paramedics, people who will risk their lives for someone else. And they are that way. They are heroes. Because when they faced the same decision we're met with today, they chose a life to combat misery. They chose a life filled with hope. So, how about we show the world what happens when you get kids with able minds, able bodies, able hearts, and able souls, hope, and a drive to make the world a better place. Let injustice, inequality, and racism know that they're living on counted days, because we're coming down the pipe. We choose hope. Now, I'm not asking you guys as soon as you get home to start a GoFundMe for the bees or anything like that. Like, that stuff's good. But don't feel the pressure to do something you're not up to the task for. Right now, all you have to do is one thing: hope. Hope in yourself. Hope in the future. Because listen, the future isn't going to get better unless you see it's getting better. Unless you have hope in it. Because if you're afraid of everything, even when you have everything you could have ever wanted, if you've been afraid the entire way, you're still going to be afraid. Hope is the exact opposite. If you hope your entire life, if you have this trust in things seen and unseen, even when you have nothing, when you've hit rock bottom, you still have enough, because you'll have hope. And no one will ever be able to take that away from you. Anyone can take your life, but not when you believe it. I'm also not asking you to see your future as something bigger than you can accomplish. Don't set standards too high. Hope isn't blindness. It's not saying, there's not a mountain there, I don't have to worry about the mountain. That's blindness. Hope is saying, yeah, there's a mountain there, but I believe I can climb it. And I believe you all can too. We either hope or we starve. Now, I'm not going to be the dad that tells his children that when the world looked to me for a difference, I didn't give it one. I'm going to tell my kids I saw horrible things. I saw chemical warfare, I saw genocide. But I saw hope too. And I decided to focus on that because I don't want my kids to grow up in the same future that I lived in. I decided to change that because I chose hope. We either hope or we starve. And I am never going hungry again. I'm going to feast. I'm going to have enough for me, for the person next to me, the person next to him, the person next to her, because who knows? Maybe they don't have enough hope. Maybe I'm going to have to share. Trust me, I'm going to get my fill for them too. We either eat, we either hope, or we starve. And I'm going to feast. And as for you all, I'll save a seat for you at the metaphorical table. So that we can sit together, eat together, hope together, and change the world together. And I have faith that we can make the world a better place together. God bless you all. Thank you.